Alrighty guys, we're back for Mono Red Burn, and this is a Duskmourn standard brew, and I'm Red Cat. Let's briefly go over the deck, then hop right into some ranked. We got all 4 shocks, nice. Got a couple Torch the Towers, beautiful. We got a couple Scorching Shot, this is a double red sorcery speed, 5 damage to target creature, 5 damage is no joke. We got all 4 Scorching Dragonfires, 2 mana instant speed, 3 damage to target creature or planeswalker. If that creature or planeswalker would die, you exile it instead. Awesome stuff. We got all 4 lightning strikes. Awesome. Also have one of Abrade because every now and then hitting artifacts is going to be pretty important. We have all 4 artist talent, 2 mana enchantment class at the first level. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, you may discard a card. If you do, draw a card. Nice. A filtering out in this style of deck list really comes in handy. Now at level 2 for just 2 and a red, non-creature spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. Beautiful. At level 3 for 2 and a red, if a source you control would deal non-combat damage to an opponent or permanent an opponent controls, it deals that much damage plus 2 instead. Awesome stuff. And we've played with artist talent in the past, and it is not unheard of to actually level this up. Or level it up as the game goes on, of course, right? We have all 4 Screaming Nemesis. This is a 3 mana 3/3 with haste, and when it's dealt damage, it deals that much damage to any other target. If a player is dealt damage this way, they can't gain life for the rest of the game. Nice. Screaming Nemesis has been an absolute MVP every time I played with it, and in this build in particular, I don't think it's going to be unheard of to maybe drop a Scorching Shot on your own Nemesis for some extra damage to the opponent's face. Same concept with Nahiri's Warcrafting, another way to do 5 damage to creature, planeswalker, or battle. And then you look at the top X cards of your library, where X is the excess damage dealt this way. You may exile one of those cards, you put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order, then you may play the exiled card this turn. Honestly, a little bit underplayed, but it also is a little bit slow for what the meta's been bringing to the table too. We do have some battles packed in that we wouldn't mind hitting with our Warcrafting, like a couple Invasion of Regatha. That's a good chunk of damage to the opponent's face, but then also you hit one creature for just 1 damage too, and it's one target creature, so you could totally hit your Screaming Nemesis for 1 damage and then also poke the opponent's face with that. We got a couple Invasion of Karsus, 3 damage to each creature and planeswalker really comes in handy, but flipping this into Refraction Elemental, the Elemental is actually pretty darn good. For a ward, pay 2 life is already decent. It's a 4/4. Whenever you cast a spell, it deals 2 damage to each opponent. Nice. We have a 1 of Solphim packed in. We'll see how often this actually comes in handy. We got 2 Sunspine Lynx here, just more ways to prevent the opponents from gaining life, which is pretty darn important when you're playing Burn. We also have a top end of Virtue of Courage, which we activate at the adventure side, instant speed, 2 damage to any target first, and then later on in the game, we'll play it at the 5 mana side, which we're actually just not going to take the time to go over right now. We got 24 mountains packed in. Hopefully that's not too much. I definitely don't think it's too little. It should be spot on, but maybe we'll talk more about that in the final thoughts. Honorable mentions, guys. I wanted this to just be like the simplest burn possible. I didn't want like too many fancy things going on. So number 1, I didn't want it to be another Urabrask burn list, although I'm positive that we will be revisiting Urabrask at some point in the near future. Coruscation Mage almost made the cut. Obliterating Bolt I wanted to bring up because it's like why play Dragonfire when it's 3 damage, does the exact same thing as Obliterating Bolt, but Bolt does 4 damage? Well, it's sorcery, and so we're just opting for instant speed. We just think that instant speed is going to be way better than 1 extra damage at sorcery speed, so I think that is true, and I think that's going to be the case today as well. But, you know, honorable mention for a reason. Thought about other board wipes like Pyroclasm, as well as the Brotherhood's End. Definitely something to consider. Our 1 board wipe in here, just 2 of, and it's at the top end of the build too, so we'll see. Thought about Mechanized Warfare for the build, Witchstalker Frenzy. There's just not really enough creatures in here to swing in with, but it does count the opponent's creatures swinging in too, so it specifically reads each creature that attacked this turn. And then also something with Scorching Shot is it can't actually be reduced by the artist talent because it's double red. Just something to consider, right? And then Festival of Embers could have been a really neat top end, maybe as like a 1 of or something, but not this time around. And I also think it's going to be pretty janky, where I'm actually thinking the deck list is going to be good. I tried to lean it as far from jank as possible, so All right, guys, I do my dandiest to save the more in-depth discussion for the end of the video, so look forward to that. In the meantime, let's go ahead, take this into some ranked, and see how we do. All right, we'll see if we can get right into the first game. In the meantime, what am I expecting from the build? A little bit, bro. I think it's going to be good. All right, I'm expecting more than a little bit. I think it's going to be great, but we'll see. We'll see. You never know sometimes until you sit down with the list. Oh, look at all that burn. Oh, the opponent goes first too. Yeah, let's pick some creatures up this game, huh? This is where exile really comes in handy too. Wow, torch the tower off the top. I think that they want to play around. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I want to try to get one boost out of the opponent's hand. We'll see what they end up doing. They go Rockface Village, so they get the extra counter, and that, so we pop that right now. So we do end up wasting the opponent's turn by having a little patience there, which is great news. Yeah, they tapped both down. Scorching Dragonfire will be open. Well, actually, all the burn in our hand will be open. My goodness, dude. Heartfire Hero. Again, just going for the exile. Yeah. Get that off the board. No more Heartfire Hero for you. It looks like this might be a game where the 5-mana side of Virtue of Courage is really going to come in handy. Only seeing the burn, we definitely need to see like our Nemesis and stuff so we can start hitting the opponent's face successfully. With what we have open, I will play Virtue to their face for 2, and I'm still going to keep everything else back because we're still going to need a lot of removal for the opponent. But I mean, we have a lot of removal, don't get me wrong. I'm just saying it's safe to drop this. I'm going to keep the shock just in case. Artist talent, nice. It could be risky just keeping the shock open for the show off, but I think we'll be fine. Let's get the artist talent down. Maybe we start trading out some cards in our hand too. Yeah, I think they can easily boost the show off above the shock. But then we'll take some damage on our turn, depending on what they boost it with. We'll still clean it up with the rest of the burn in our hand. So they want to try to swing first. We'll just take it if that's the case. If it's just one, just take it. I don't think it's worth risking losing the shock as they boost the show off above. Okay, I don't mind seeing the 4th mana, and I'm kind of okay going Artist Talent, because now our Lightning Strikes are just 1 mana. And I will wait for their turn to do the rest of the stuff here. I mean, this is a brutal matchup for the opponent. All right. We are going to attempt. Let's see, Lightning Strike or Shock. It's going to be Lightning Strike in case their last mountain is going to be like a Monstrous Rage. We want to get around the extra boost that the Monstrous Rage gives to their toughness. And I think that's totally worth playing around because Monstrous Rage, of course, is a big card to play with. Hold on just a minute. Change the target. Wow. Change the target of target spell or ability with a single target. I can't believe that right now, dude. That's awesome, opponent. Okay, I'm thinking we don't trade out. I think I like the hand. I tempted to trade out the Scorching Shot, of course, but they hit us for 3 damage with our own Lightning Strike. That was very unexpected. Torch the tower off the top, dude. Virtue, of course, would be huge for us. But we have to deal with this Slick Shot show off while we can. And so we're just going to go for the exile, I guess, because, of course, Shock can hit the opponent's face. Still tempted to ditch the Scorching Shot, which I think I am. I am going to now. We'll see what we see. Scorching Dragonfire. All right, dude. It's like I said, this is such a brutal match for the opponent. Tempted by the artist talent, but we really shouldn't. We're at 8. We should keep all of our removal open. This was unexpected, dude. If they have any more of these malfunctions, that's terrifying. See what to do with this scamp. It might be like Felonious Rage. Even if it's not, we still go for an attempted exile here. I'm going to decline because having all this extra burn's great, of course. We might set up with Virtue next turn. This, like, we've removed so many of their creatures at this point. All right, I'm not hitting the opponent's face yet. Okay, Mountain is good. We will establish the Virtue of Courage while keeping Lightning Strike and Shock open. Decline. Wow. All right, so whenever a source you control deals a non-combat damage to an opponent, you may exile that many cards from the top of your library. You may play those cards this turn. Another Mountain. All right, let's do this. Artist Talent. Lightning Strike. The opponent's face. See what we see on top. I'm going to not trade out. I'm going to keep the Mountain just in case we miss a Mountain on the Virtue. We might need 5. Wow. I don't think we're going to miss a Mountain. Wow. We did not miss the Mountain. Get the Artist Talent down. Abrade doesn't have a target, but now we can trade out this Mountain, and we still have a Mountain available. It's the Screaming Nemesis. All right. All right, opponent. I guess it could still be anyone's game, guys. It really could be, but we got rid of so many of their creatures. All right, Nemesis. Well, I guess we could start with Shock to the opponent's face, right? And trade out the Mountain too, because this is going to be another exile of 4 cards. I do like the Lynx, but we're going to go Nemesis for the turn, and we're going to try to end it this turn too. We're going to just attempt as much excess burn as possible. Look at that. 4 Mountains off the top. Wow. I don't even know what to say about that. I'll start with the swing here. And then try to clean it up with the Invasion. That should do it. That should do it. Holy cow. The opponent has, we can target our Screaming Nemesis too. There we go. There we go. Dude. Holy cow. 6 damage anyways from the Artist Talent. Then it was going to be another one from the Screaming Nemesis, which is actually another 3 thanks to the Artist Talent as well. Absolutely, like, exactly what you want to see when you're playing Burn, dude. Just incredible early removal, exile removal at that, which was huge for us, of course. Jeez. Oh, you just can't ask for a better first game, can you? Let's keep the ball rolling. I don't know if it's going to always perform that well, but... I mean, the opponent did have a little bit of bad luck only seeing... Well, not necessarily. They saw 4 of their creatures. We just happened to remove all of them quite effectively. Oh, opponent goes first. Now, see, this could be a bad hand. The double Lynx is particularly bad when we don't have a way to get the 4 guaranteed. But I'm going to keep it. We just performed so well. We might as well see what happens here with a little bit of a slower hand. Which honestly isn't even that slow. Like, still have early removal potential here and everything. Yeah, we're keeping the Shocks and Lightning Strikes, being very patient with them. Avatar on the Cavern of Souls. Well, I wonder if we're up against Boros control, guys. Artist Talent. Okay. That would have been great last turn. I'll attempt Nemesis. A lot of Boros control ends up just dealing damage anyways, and so preventing their life total Like, also Get Lost exists, though, too, but... Lightning Helix, yeah, we're preventing life gain for the rest of the game here from the Nemesis. I think that's a really good sign. I think doubling down on Lynx, too. Like, oh, they're going to get a basic, unfortunately, but I was going to say this could be a lot of excess damage when it comes into play. Still 3 excess damage, 2 turns in a row, potentially, here. Virtue. Yeah, let's get these Lynx down. Players can't gain life, damage can't be prevented. I guess we're doubling down on this concept of the player can't gain life. But now we can't gain life too from the Lynx. That doesn't matter, of course. 3 damage to the opponent's face and a big old chunky creature that is much harder to hit with a Lightning Helix. So this is where their Get Lost, of course, would come in handy. Oh, gonna double down on some removal, which is not... That's not bad for us, dude. 2 cards for 1, and we have card advantage, technically. Not on the board, but... I guess Virtue of Courage, though. Just, like, get the other Lynx down, right? Like, we could wait for later, and maybe they'll have more lands. I think establishing a creature, I think it was a great sign that they had to double down on the first Lynx. I think we should just get that established right away. And maybe start swinging with it too. Double Artist Talent, they're a little bit late. This is one of those instances where seeing it too late... Oh, they're going for the Virtue of Courage ability. They do see a Get Lost, guys, off of the Virtue. That's great news for the opponent. Exactly what they needed to see for the Lynx. In other words, that Lynx was going to start to be very dangerous. All right. Had we seen mana, I think I would have went Artist Talent level up. Get Lost is what they wanted to see. That doesn't mean they have another one in hand. It doesn't mean they're going to draw another one either. Artist Talent. Keep the burn open. Start burning their life total down. We do have enough burn in hand. I think we're going to ditch the Invasion of Karsus, although there are, if it's Boros tokens, there's a lot of great ways for them to, you know what I'm thinking, guys? I think this is Boros Burn, and it's just now clicking. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense with the Virtue of Courage here, right? 4 damage is a lot of damage. See what they see. Find another land. Sunfall, another Virtue. There's their land. Fable can be untapped land, so they could still have 2 mana open for whatever's left in their hand. Oh, still have 2 mana open for the Virtue of Courage, of course. They do that, then they can play a second one. Yeah, that's good. Brings us down to 11. And I will do the same, opponent. Get rid of the Invasion of Karsus. And the next thing we get rid of is actually going to be the second Artist Talent, too. They decline that because it's only till the end of the turn. And the 5th mana is actually huge news for us, man. So I'm going to start by doing this. And we're going to try to wrap things up next turn with a, let's see. We go 3 mana next turn, get the Artist Talent. So we still keep all of our burn open just in case, right? Or do we establish the other Artist Talent? No, I don't think we do. We could trade out the other Artist Talent. I think we just keep it all open. I hope that's okay. I don't know, man. We're at 11 as well. I think we could easily die here because look at all their mana. On the edge of my seat, though, because also finding a Get Lost would be huge for the opponent, too. Because they got to get rid of this Artist Talent. Yeah, dude, I think we could easily die. I'm scared about it. Down to 8. They see 3 off the top. Come on, miss the burn. Come on. Lightning Helix. Get Lost? No way. No way, guys. The Virtue of Courage being an absolute MVP for the opponent, and we're in danger now, for sure. Without the Artist Talent here, we need to see more burn off the top to actually close out the game. Luckily, they're not gaining life. They see even more off the top with the Virtue. I don't think they're going to be able to do 5 damage. I know one thing for certain. They have to hit this Artist Talent. So now that Artist Talent is gone and we only have 5 mana available, we take the time to do 6 damage to the opponent's face while we can. Trade out the other Artist Talent. We just don't have enough mana. A Shock is good, but it's not enough damage. Do we try to trade it and hope for something else? They're going down to 5. We have 4 in hand. Artist Talent's gone. We trade it, right? We hope for something else like a Screaming Nemesis. It's just land, though. We could still find something on... Oh, crap. Crap, guys. This didn't flip yet. We're still at 5. They might not have anything left in hand. It was a great turn for the opponent, man. Dude, I'm like completely on the edge of my seat right now. I'd love to establish this Courage. Maybe we decline. We'll keep the Shock open. Maybe we can get away with keeping it open for next turn, seeing more off the top. And the Torch the Tower could, of course, help us out too. The Get Lost is so good against this deck because we don't have great targets for the map tokens. There was a lot we could have seen there, but a lot of it's also in the grave too. We already saw 1 Screaming Nemesis, and we already saw a couple Lightning Strikes too. Alright, opponent, what you got for me, buddy? Any burn left in hand is probably a GG because they're going to see a ton off the top with the Virtue and probably just find more burn. Guys, are we okay? This is like so back and forth right now. Alright. Impending. We could take out one of the insects. I'm actually just not going to, in case we need to cast that or something on our turn. Invasion of Karsus. Guys, first of all, it shocked the opponent's face. See 2 off the top with the Virtue. We can find this. We can do this. There it is. Lightning Strike. GG, opponent. What a good game, man. That was back and forth. Holy cow. It was Boros Burn, and I really appreciate the opponent's deck list there. Awesome. Awesome stuff. Guys, while I have you here in the middle of the video, make sure you check out that description where we got that Discord link, as well as that Patreon link too, if you're interested in joining either of those up or supporting the channel that way. And also, guys, with the other YouTube nonsense, if you like the video, make sure you actually drop it a like. And if you enjoy the channel, then consider subscribing as well. Really does help out the channel, so thank you, thank you. Alright, opponent, what you bringing to the table, buddy? We go first. Keepable. I like it. Virtue of Courage really coming in handy. Being a 2 of has been terrific so far. Oh. Jeskai colors. Oh. I mean, that's a Scorching Dragonfire if I've ever seen one. Get that out of here. Torch the Tower. Alright. Of course, more mana off the top will really come in handy. 24 mana seems to be about right. Sanguine Evangelist. Alright. I'll tell you what. Torch the Tower was a great draw, wasn't it? I'll let them keep the bat and actually just go 2 to their face. I mean, we're still... I mean, our main win condition is burn, so... I'm going to keep both Lightning Strikes open. I think they're going to try to go wide. I think Invasion of Karsus is going to be really, really good. Wow. Knight Errant immediately getting around the Invasion of Karsus. Let's see what they see. I think we want to be patient with our Lightning Strikes. Okay. All right. Let's just establish Virtue and take some damage next turn. Great seeing that 5th mana on time. Yeah, just going like simple burn. This has been really fun so far. Like there's nothing complicated, no intricate combos. We're not trying to do 1,000 pokes on the same turn or anything fancy, right? Man, they are really gonna hate this Invasion of Karsus in a second. Oh, some more Convoke though. The Knight Errants are a problem for sure. More mana off the top, we could double down. Like Invasion and Lightning Strike one of the Knight Errants for the turn. But this is definitely a problem. Yeah, Knight Errant not being picked up by the Invasion. Wow, Solphim. Solphim, are we gonna survive the turn though? No, we're not, right? We have to at least wipe. Yeah, we're not gonna survive. Wait a minute. Whenever a source you control deals non-combat damage to an opponent, we could hit the opponent for 3. I'm sorry, opponent. I'm thinking, buddy. We hit the opponent for 3 down to 11. We're risking on the top 3 finding mana, play the mana, play Invasion, maybe survive the turn, but they're at down to 11, so like a little bit of a closer chance maybe. If we literally can't play Solphim, they're just going to play Recruiter, win next turn. I say it's all risky at this point. The double Knight Errant of Eos is really, really good for the opponent. I say we just like fully risk here and see what happens. If we miss a land, it is what it is. Wow. I don't think we missed the land. Jeez, bro. Well, seeing one of those in that turn would have been great to remove one of the Knight Errants, but that kind of sort of works, I guess. Now we do have Solphim into Lightning Strike next turn for 6 at their face, but we're in danger as we're on a 2-turn clock. Noteworthy things here, guys, is opponent or permanent and opponent controls. That does not mean our battle, as we control the battle. It's just on the opponent's side of the board. At least I think that's how that works. Oh, a shock. Wow. Again, we could find more mana. We could win this turn. See if Solphim lands. It does. 6 damage to the opponent's face. Find land off the top 6 cards. Land, shock. Oh my goodness, dude. We're just getting lucky at this point, right? Holy cow, this Virtue of Courage is such a freaking MVP. Do we want to consider 3 of these, maybe? I don't know about 4. 4 is probably a little steep. It's because it's kind of our top end, right? Holy cow, man. All right. Well, I'm sure the opponent is a little salty after that one, guys. Let's do a mid-video pack here before we get into the last game of the evening. Win or lose, I am completely... Hey, that's what we like to see. Anyways, win or lose, completely satisfied. Honestly, my expectations have been met. I'm very, very satisfied with how this has performed so far. And all the cards, all of them have really come in handy. That's like we showcased every card in the deck list beautifully. Or close to every card in the deck list. We didn't see the Nahiri's Warcrafting yet, right? We go first, we're just going to keep this. I'm pretty sure as long as you have a little bit of mana and enough early removal, you just like keep it. And then you just hold the opponent back for as long as possible. I think our worst matchup would probably be like the long game control lists. Swift Spear. No. No, I don't think so, actually. All right, these Scorching Dragonfires are probably going to come in handy. They missed mana, guys. We're going to go Virtue to their face, even though extra removal's great. It's like I said before, though. We're still a burn list, so... Hit face while we can, right? No, I don't think Heartfire Hero is going to stick around, buddy. Oh, artist talent. That's good. That's really good. We already have our 5th mana for the Virtue too. Opponent just missing. That's really rough, opponent. It really is. 3 here, or just like establish. Actually, Nemesis is like so good, isn't it? Because this lets us keep the Dragonfire open too and get a great swing. Opponent missing that land is very unlucky, guys. But also very risky to keep a 1 mana opening hand. Very, very risky. GG opponent. Oh no. Well, it's gonna happen from time to time. Guys, we're only 30 minutes in. I thought, I thought that was gonna be the last one, but it's not the last one. And again, no matter how the game goes, I'm very, very satisfied. Guys, in that last one, I was feeling so safe underneath all of our burn spells that even if the opponent wasn't missing mana, I was feeling pretty good there. What about you guys? If they were seeing more mana, getting like their slick shot show-offs and everything onto the board, I just don't think I don't think it would have been much of a problem. I think seeing the Screaming Nemesis was great too because it blocks so well on the ground as well. Yeah. Opponent. What you bringing to the table, buddy? We go first. I'll keep it. Turn 2 artist talent when you go first is like disgusting on so many levels. We have Nemesis as an option, or we have artist talent level up. Against a deck list that can run Get Lost, it's risky to go right into the level up. Instead, we try Nemesis probably. Oh, they could have Counterspell open though. That would be pretty bad too. It's all risky at that point though. Take the turn for level up. See if Get Lost takes care of talent. Maybe Nemesis can stick around. Oh, Picklock Prankster. Guys, mini Reanimator. Scorching Shot's going to be great against this list. Picklock Prankster. Nice. Nothing to hit with their helping hand. But they do find the Get Lost. Well, I guess that's pretty good for them. What do they want to hit, though? Our artist talent? Or our Solphim, huh? No, it should probably be Screaming Nemesis. Or level up. No. Like that 110% means they pop the artist talent. Maybe I do take the turn for Solphim. Call me crazy, guys. No, never mind. Never mind. Here's why. We still have Lightning Strike open for the turn then. What ends up happening is next turn we have Mountain into Solphim. And then we technically would have the Solphim bottom ability available to put an indestructible counter on it. We'll see if that ends up mattering, but... Okay, they still have Get Lost. They still have Phantom Interference available. Yeah, if any deck list is going to be able to get there, it's this mini Reanimator, dude. It's like really, really good. You got their Oculus into the grave at long last. They got that helping hand. Nice. Nice opponent. We're going to be patient with our Lightning Strike. I think that's going to be very important. We get the Manifest Dread here. They definitely stop our Solphim turn, but, well, yeah. They stop our Solphim turn. Could level up. We have Lightning Strike for the Oculus too, but that's like another turn, perhaps. Solphim Scorching Shot. I'm thinking about how we want to deal with this. So we're going to start with the swing, I think. I think they easily take the 3 here. No worries about it. And it might be a pretty awkward turn where we just have to Scorching Shot the Oculus and then let them bring it back again next turn. And hopefully they bring it back tapped. That's pretty good for us. However, we're still just going to hit their face. Into the Floodmaw. Oh. Okay. I mean, that's not terrible. Right? Yeah. Okay. So we play Screaming Nemesis for the turn. We won't have Lightning Strike open, but that's okay. We want to get it back down and established while we have open mana, and then we want to pop the Oculus, and I don't know if we want to get rid of this land. I will. I'll trade it out. There could be more land. Nahiri's Warcrafting is pretty good. Anything that does 5 damage is going to be pretty good against these Oculus. I think we're in danger, but I can't really tell. See, once we get them low enough, then of course these extra 5 damage onto the Nemesis could be great. Okay, we're gonna have to probably opt for extra talent damage to get a 6/6 because recommission given that extra counter. And them getting a whole bunch of blockers on the ground. Oh, get lost for the talent. Oculus is now in a huge threat. Manifest Dread. Let's see what we see on the Warcrafting. Scorching Dragonfire. I have one open. I'm going to get the Solphim down. We're going to keep the Solphim ability available and potentially discarding these two. I'm not going to boost with the map. Wait a minute. Why am I not boosting with the map? Yeah. Solphim ability. That's right. You need to have one open and then 2 of them are Phyrexian mana. I think they take the 3. I think they gladly take the 3 here. They don't take the 3. Oh, they take the 3. Oh. Okay, dude. They were teasing us. That's what they were doing. Okay. Yep. We want to keep Solphim's ability open. I don't think we block. I think Elspeth's Smite might exist in these lists still, right? I think Elspeth's Smite is one. Oh, Soul Partition gets around the Indestructible anyways. Oh, okay, we can't block. They just swing in the air with Oculus. Okay. And they do have this Phantom Interference, so we have to make sure we keep 2 open when we hit with like a Lightning Strike, for example. And we start with the swing on Nemesis. We start with swing on Nemesis, or we could just go Warcrafting Nemesis, have Nemesis deal 10, right? But then we'd have to pay the 2 for the interference, and then we won't have the swing. I think they'll gladly take the 3 again, and then we'll try to do the last bit with the Nahiri's Warcrafting. How do you guys feel about that? Go down to 9. They could have a full counterspell too. I don't see any other spree cards, so it could just be full 3 steps ahead. How risky is this? It's too risky, right? 6/6 Oculus in the sky. We should risk it. Let's do it. It's 5 damage to the Nemesis, and then Nemesis 10 damage to their face. Thanks to the Solphim, of course, but we'll see what ends up happening here. It could be Phantom Interference. We're forced to pay the 2, then the last 2 they could try to pop the Solphim since we have to pay the 2, and we won't have the bottom ability on Solphim open. Like, there's so much that could happen here. Now they can pop the Solphim. Oh, another Phantom Interference. That actually isn't terrible for us. If we can survive the turn, we still have a great line of play next turn. Picklock Prankster. Grab the Helping Hand probably, right? No, there's nothing else to reanimate in the grave. Sleight of Hand. They're looking for more, guys. This is great news. We might be forced to block on the ground, though, if they full swing, first of all. Because I don't... Well, we could probably take the 12. Probably. We'll see. We'll take the 12 if they tap out for sure. And I don't know what would be... I don't know what would be in there where we wouldn't take the 12. So they do keep the chump blockers on the ground. Down to 8. That was totally worth the risk last turn, right, guys? I think so. Picklock Prankster, they do end up tapping out here. They manifest Dread. Well, we have 6 with the Lightning Strike and then Scorching Fire the Nemesis, right? I think that's all we have to do. We just get through that way. There we go. Here we go, guys. GG opponent. Oh, I wanted to target, though. Hold on, the Exile wasn't about to mess that up, was it? No, I think I know how to play Magic. Whenever it's dealt damage, it was definitely dealt the 3 damage. It's not like it's a die. It's not like it's a death trigger. But the way that all happened so fast, I got a little concerned, you know what I mean? Also, we didn't have to target with Scorching Dragonfire. Once we did 6 to the opponent's face, we could have just swung, because then they have no successful blocks no matter what. But I guess keep your eye on that just in case. That was a little sketchy, the way that happened, but I'm pretty sure it was just because of the concede. Anyways, the swing would have been more fun, too. I should have swung in. Guys, did we lose today? Question mark? Did I just get really, really lucky? I forget if we lost a match, guys. We had quite a few games. I feel like we got lucky in a lot of those games, but just a little lucky. It might not actually be luck. It might just be how the deck list is put together. Might just be really good versus the current meta. I'm not 100% certain. That's where I say more testing required for sure. But I'm very, very satisfied, and I could easily see playing this just outside of recording videos too for some good fun. Burn is one of my absolute favorites, and we really opted for just really simple burn, and it happened to be really, really clean. Virtue on the top end was an absolute MVP. I think I'd keep it at a 2 of though, but if you really like it, I guess I could see 3. And if you go to 4, you're probably going to be disappointed when you just really need to do 3 damage to something, and all you're seeing are your virtues. I think 2 makes a lot of sense. The Scorching Shot was pretty great, wasn't it? The double red, obviously not getting held up by the 24 mountains, but also not like too much of a concern about making it cheaper with artist talent, because of course we can't do that because it costs 1 less, right? But the double red doesn't actually get reduced. It's not a concern, but this could still be your 5 damage burn spell of choice. And I say 5 damage for a reason. We're hitting with 2 damage a lot. We're hitting with 3 damage a lot. You're just going to need to hit for 5 damage every now and then too. And so having that 5 on the Scorching, 5 on the Warcrafting is actually just really great. The one of Solphim, heck yeah, dude. I could see dropping a Sunspine Lynx and going up the 2nd Solphim easily. Easily, I could see doing that. But guys, it performed way too well for me to actually change anything here, especially when sometimes your opponents are going to be gaining a lot of life and you miss your Nemesis. And so that's why there's still 2 Sunspine Lynx here too, where it does prevent life when it's on the board, or players can't gain life when this is on the board. So, you know, that's important. And, you know, Nemesis doesn't have that ability. Nemesis actually has to be dealt damage, and then you have to deal that damage to the opponent. Little extra thing that you have, extra hoop that you have to jump through to prevent the opponent from gaining life. Although that hoop is very small, or very easy to jump through. Warcrafting with the 4 battles is sick too, but we didn't actually see that come into play. But Invasion of Regatha, since we are a burn list, just, I mean, it's an incredible chunk of damage. But if you have like Solphim on the board too, or if you are pairing Invasion of Regatha with a Nemesis on the board, 4 damage to the opponent's face, 1 to Nemesis, then poke 1 to the opponent's face too. 5 damage to the opponent's face for the price of 3 is pretty good, man. And then the double Invasion of Karsus is going to hit its mark quite often with the board wipes, all while being still a powerhouse ready to flip. Speaking of flipping, didn't really talk about flipping the Invasion of Regatha, did we? It's a 4/4 prowess. If a non-creature source you control would deal damage to a creature, battle, or opponent, deals that much damage +2 instead. So really fitting that burn theme, very similar to the bottom level on Artist Talent. And yeah, everything everything in here worked really well, didn't it? The double torch the tower, totally fine. It's tricky to say. It depends what you're up against, but maybe like 3 shock, 3 torch the tower could be okay. I think just having all 4 shock, though, you know, we're doing our best to slam damage through to the opponent's face. Yeah, all 4 shock. I mean, I could see an argument to be made if you just need to exile constantly. Same thing with Scorching Dragonfire, since this is also exiling. I could see like 3 Dragonfire, 3 Torch the Tower, but you're not bargaining too much in this build. If ever, it would be a pretty bad bargain to sacrifice an Artist Talent. You know what I mean? So the one of Abrade didn't, I don't think we saw this today, did we? It's fine. It's totally fine to keep in here, and you're still going to hit artifacts with it every now and then. If you're not hitting artifacts with it, you could always trade it out to the top level on the Artist Talent and stuff too. Artist Talent was a pretty good MVP today as well, wasn't it? Everything just worked, man. I have nothing else to say. The games showcased the deck list exactly how we wanted it to be showcased. Guys, let me know if you enjoyed the deck list as much as I enjoyed it. Let me know what you would add or take out. You guys agree? Maybe second Solphim? I could totally see it, for sure. I don't really know what I would want to cut for it just yet. Like, you know, I was leaning towards the Lynx because it's on the top end, but maybe it would be like that Abrade if there's just not enough artifacts to hit in standard or something. You know what I mean? Like, that could be decent as well. But yeah, it did way too well to actually change anything today. So, all right, guys. Hey, if you made it this far into the video, for real, y'all are champions. I super duper appreciate you, and I will see you in the next video.